You fall in love. You know, when we met Jake and Millie's daughter, it was just immediate. You're like, that's my granddaughter. And it's cool.
Jon Bon Jovi is a name that echoes through the halls of rock and roll history, a legendary frontman who has crafted a life that most can only dream of. But behind the sold-out stadiums, the screaming fans, and the chart-topping anthems lies a carefully constructed narrative, an illusion of a perfect life that hides a far more complex and turbulent reality. For years, the world has seen a rock god, a devoted husband, and a proud father. But what has been unfolding behind the closed doors of the Bon Jovi empire is a story of shocking family secrets, youthful rebellion, and private battles that threaten to shatter the very image he has spent a lifetime building. For decades, Jon Bon Jovi and his high school sweetheart, Dorothea Hurley, have been the undisputed golden couple of rock and roll. Their love story is the stuff of legends, a fairy tale that began in the hallways of a New Jersey high school and blossomed into one of the most enduring marriages in music history. They were the exception to the rule, the living proof that true love could survive the chaos of fame, fortune, and the endless temptations of the road. Their relationship became a brand, a symbol of stability in a world defined by its excesses. But as their 4 children began to grow up and step into the spotlight, a new and unpredictable chapter began, one that would test the foundations of their seemingly perfect family and force Jon to confront a past he thought he had long left behind. It all started when his son, Jake Bongiovi, announced his engagement to one of the biggest young stars on the planet, Stranger Things actress Millie Bobby Brown. The news exploded across the internet, sending shockwaves through the media, not just because of their celebrity status, but because of their age. Millie was just 19, and Jake was only 21, and the public was mercilessly quick to criticize their decision to marry so young. For Jon, it was a moment of profound déjà vu, a startling echo of his own youthful romance with Dorothea. He saw his own history repeating itself, but this time it was amplified by the blinding glare of social media and a level of global fame he could have never imagined in his own youth. The announcement wasn't just a happy family moment. It was the beginning of a public trial. The backlash was swift and brutal, a tidal wave of judgment from every corner of the internet. Fans, critics, and armchair psychologists alike questioned the young couple's maturity, with many cynically predicting that their marriage was doomed to fail before it even began. Tabloids ran headlines screaming about a teen marriage and a recipe for disaster. The controversy put Jon in an impossibly difficult position, forcing him to choose between defending his son's happiness and staying silent in the face of overwhelming public scrutiny. Every word he said would be dissected, every action analyzed. But what he did next wasn't just surprising, it was a declaration of war against the court of public opinion. In a move that stunned the world, Jon Bon Jovi publicly and fiercely defended his son's marriage. He didn't just offer a polite statement of support, he went on the offensive, stating that he and Dorothea had given the couple their unequivocal blessing. He described Jake and Millie as mature beyond their years, and revealed that he saw a powerful reflection of his own love story in their relationship, a story that had defied all the odds. He spoke of their shared journey, growing up together, and finding strength in one another, the same exact foundation he had built with Dorothea. It was a bold, defiant statement, a father drawing a line in the sand and daring the world to cross it. It showed a side of the rock star that few had ever seen. Not the cool, detached icon, but a passionate, protective patriarch. But the surprises didn't stop there. As the noise from the public debate raged on, the Bon Jovi family was making moves in silence. In May 2024, Jake and Millie tied the knot in a secret, intensely private ceremony, far from the prying eyes of the media and the relentless flash of paparazzi cameras. The intimate affair was a stark contrast to the public spectacle that had surrounded their engagement, a clear and deliberate sign that the young couple was determined to live their lives on their own terms, not as public property. The secrecy surrounding the event only fueled more speculation, but it also sent a powerful message. Their love was not for public consumption, it was a whirlwind of a year for the entire Bon Jovi clan. As if one high-profile wedding wasn't enough, it was revealed that 2 of Jon's other children were also planning to walk down the aisle. The singer joked about the astronomical expense of having 3 weddings in 1 year, but behind the lighthearted humor was a father navigating the chaotic and beautiful journey of his children's lives. The Bon Jovi dynasty was entering a new era, with a new generation ready to write their own stories. But the biggest shock The one that no one could have ever predicted was still to come, just a few months after their secret wedding. In a move that left the entertainment world speechless, Jake and Millie announced that they had adopted a baby girl. The news came out of nowhere, a complete bombshell that once again thrust the young couple into the center of a media firestorm. But this time, the reaction was different. The cynical criticism was replaced by a sense of awe and fascination. This time, the world saw not just a celebrity couple making headlines, but a young family beginning its journey. The adoption was a profound statement of their commitment, a move that seemed to silence even their harshest critics. For Jon Bon Jovi, the rock star who had commanded stages for 40 years, becoming a grandfather was a truly life-altering experience. He spoke with raw emotion about the moment he met his granddaughter for the first time, describing how she was immediately part of the family, as if she had always been there. The man who had written anthems that defined a generation was now completely captivated by the newest, tiniest addition to his family. The electrifying frontman was now a doting grandfather, and the transformation was both beautiful and profound. In a surprisingly candid interview, Jon revealed a lighter, more personal side of himself, admitting with a laugh that he had become a pain-in-the-butt grandpa. He confessed to being the guy who was constantly asking for pictures and video updates, a far cry from his cool, rock and roll persona. It was a heartwarming and relatable glimpse into the private life of a man who had always been known for his larger-than-life image. He was no longer just Jon Bon Jovi, the icon. He was Pop, and he was loving every minute of it. But behind the happy family moments and the joyful announcements, there have been deep, unseen struggles. Growing up in the shadow of a rock legend is a gilded cage, and Jon's children have had to navigate the immense pressures of fame and the crushing expectations that come with the Bon Jovi name. Their lives have been a story of private battles fought away from the cameras, a reality that the public rarely, if ever, gets to see. This was never more apparent than the terrifying ordeal his daughter, Stephanie, faced years ago. She experienced a horrifying OD scare that nearly ended her life, a moment that exposed the dark underbelly of their privileged existence and shook the family to its core. Jon Bon Jovi's own rebellious youth and his meteoric rise to fame have undoubtedly shaped his parenting style. He has spoken about the accelerated version of life that his children have experienced, drawing direct parallels to his own journey from a kid in New Jersey to a global superstar. He remembers the wild days, the temptations, and the constant struggle to stay grounded. This unique perspective has allowed him to understand and support his children in a way that few fathers in his position could, offering empathy where others might only offer judgment. There have always been whispers and speculation about a Bon Jovi curse, a term used to describe the immense challenges of growing up as the child of a rock icon. The pressure to live up to a legendary family name, combined with the relentless public scrutiny, has caused many celebrity families to crumble. The Bon Jovis have been seen as an exception, a beacon of stability. But the truth is, they have faced their own demons, their own near disasters, and have had to fight tooth and nail to keep their family from falling apart under the weight of it all. Through all the controversy, the public scrutiny, and the private struggles, Jon Bon Jovi has given his children the one thing that matters most: his unwavering blessing. He has publicly supported their choices, even when those choices were met with a firestorm of criticism. He has stood by them not as a celebrity, but as a father. It's a testament to his deep love and loyalty, a side of the rock star that is often overshadowed by the bright lights and loud music. But it is perhaps the most important part of his story. In the end, Jon Bon Jovi's legacy will not be defined solely by the platinum albums or the sold-out tours. It will be defined by his role as a father, a patriarch who has navigated the treacherous waters of fame and family with a fierce and protective love. He is a man who has seen his children stumble and has helped them rise again. And as he embraces his new role as a grandfather, the world is finally getting a true glimpse of the real Jon Bon Jovi, a man whose heart is as big as his voice, and whose greatest hit is the family he has fought so hard to protect.